iOS 26.3 brings AirPods-like pairing to third-party devices in EU under DMA. The European Commission today praised the interoperability changes that Apple is introducing in iOS 26.3, once again crediting the Digital Markets Act DMA with bringing new opportunities to European users and developers. Apple's iOS 26.3 update may look like a technical footnote to casual users, but in reality it represents one of the most meaningful shifts in Apple's ecosystem philosophy in more than a decade. Because for the first time, Apple is being forced to open system-level features that were once exclusive to its own products. And this change is not coming from a new hardware launch or a bold software redesign, but from regulation, specifically the European Union's Digital Markets Act, which is reshaping how dominant platforms like iOS must interact with third-party developers and accessory makers. And the European Commission has openly praised Apple's iOS 26.3 changes, calling them another step toward a more interconnected digital ecosystem. A statement that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago when Apple was fiercely defending its closed approach as essential for user experience and security. Yet here we are, with iOS 26.3 introducing AirPods-like proximity pairing and expanded notification support for third-party devices in the EU, fundamentally changing how non-Apple accessories can interact with iPhones and iPads. And understand why this matters, you need to understand just how powerful Apple's ecosystem lock-in has been over the years, because features like one-tap pairing, instant device recognition, and rich notification handling were never just conveniences. They were strategic advantages designed to keep users buying Apple accessories instead of exploring alternatives. And with iOS 26.3, that advantage is being partially dismantled, at least in Europe, starting with proximity pairing, which allows third-party earbud accessories to pair with an iPhone or iPad simply by bringing them close to the device, triggering a clean, one-tap setup process similar to AirPods, eliminating the frustrating multi-step Bluetooth pairing ritual that iPhone users have endured for years when connecting non-Apple devices. And this is not a minor usability tweak, because friction at setup is one of the biggest reasons users stick with first-party accessories. And by removing that friction, Apple is effectively leveling the playing field for competing brands like Sony, Bose, Samsung, JBL, and countless smaller accessory makers, allowing them to offer a setup experience that feels native rather than second-class. And according to the European Commission, developers can already test proximity pairing for third-party TVs, headphones, and smartwatches in iOS 26.3, with the functionality set to be fully available across Europe in 2026, which signals that this is not an experimental feature, but a structural change to the iOS platform. And pairing is only half of the story, because iOS 26.3 also introduces expanded notification support for third-party wearables, another area where Apple historically drew a hard line, reserving rich notification handling almost exclusively for the Apple Watch, while non-Apple smartwatches were left with limited, delayed, or inconsistent access. But with this update, third-party accessories like smartwatches will be able to receive notifications directly from the iPhone, view them, and even react to them, bringing them much closer to Apple Watch-level functionality, albeit with certain constraints designed to maintain system order, such as allowing notifications to be forwarded to only one connected device at a time, and disabling Apple Watch notifications when a third-party device is active. A compromise that ensures clarity for users while still expanding choice. And this change alone could significantly alter purchasing decisions for iPhone users who prefer Garmin, Samsung, or fitness-focused wearables, but previously felt forced into the Apple Watch ecosystem. And while Apple has framed these updates as regulatory compliance, the broader implications are impossible to ignore, because once system-level capabilities like pairing and notifications are opened up even regionally, it sets a precedent that is difficult to reverse, especially if users respond positively and developers invest heavily in supporting these new frameworks. And this is exactly why the Digital Markets Act is so disruptive, because it doesn't just mandate specific features, it reshapes incentives, forcing Apple to balance ecosystem control with legal obligation. And in iOS 26.3, we're seeing Apple attempt to strike that balance by offering interoperability in a controlled, scoped, and region-specific manner. keeping the changes limited to the European Union for now, while closely monitoring user behavior and developer adoption. And Apple's cautious rollout also explains why these features are currently unavailable outside the EU, as the company continues to argue that broader interoperability could compromise privacy, security, and overall user experience. Yet the European Commission sees things differently, describing iOS 26.3 as opening up new opportunities for users and developers alike. And from a user perspective, those opportunities are very real, because greater interoperability means more choice, easier setup, better compatibility, and less pressure to buy Apple brand accessories simply to get basic functionality. While from a developer and manufacturer perspective, it means the ability to compete on more equal terms within the iOS ecosystem, building products that feel first-class rather than tolerated. And this is where the long-term significance of iOS 26.3 becomes clear, because even if Apple never expands these features globally, the EU market alone is large enough to influence accessory design, software development, and pricing strategies worldwide, potentially leading to better products for all users. And the timing of this update is also notable, with iOS 26.3 expected to launch at the end of January, setting the tone for Apple's software strategy in 2026 before major hardware announcements later in the year. And while some users may dismiss this update as irrelevant if they live outside Europe, history shows that once Apple builds and maintains system-level features, expanding them to other regions becomes a question of strategy rather than feasibility, especially if regulatory pressure grows elsewhere or if user demand becomes impossible to ignore. And our recommendation is this: if you're an iPhone or iPad user in the European Union, iOS 26.3 is a must-watch update that could finally free you from accessory limitations and give you real choice without sacrificing usability. And if you're outside the EU, this update still matters because it signals a crack in Apple's walled garden that could widen over time, reshaping the ecosystem in ways we've never seen before. And if you want to stay ahead of Apple updates, ecosystem shifts, and the real meaning behind major software changes, make sure you keep watching TechVerse.